Today's book review is The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. This is the second book in his Fifth Wave series. The Fifth Wave, which is being made into a movie. The first book is already in production, I understand, and I think that I've read that all of them are going to be made into movies. The Fifth Wave chronicles the alien takeover of the Earth and the systematic approach by which they are attempting to eliminate all humanity off of the planet. In the first book, it talks about the different things that they did, including a giant tsunami, and then this like massive plague that was engineered precisely to wipe out massive amounts of humans. The characters keep coming back to over 90% of humanity has been wiped out. Book 2 picks up right where Book 1 left off, literally just the next day or the day after. At the end of Book 1, a group of humans, with the help of what we're kind of led to believe is an alien turncoat, alien traitor, a conflicted alien, they blow up this alien military base and flee. Book 2 starts up in an abandoned hotel, an old abandoned hotel. This was originally designated as a meeting place. This is where they are. And then this ragtag bunch of survivors is trying to come up with a plan of what to do next. They are definitely in a world of hurt, partially because, they are humans in a desolate world, partially because their leader from their military time is very wounded. His wounds are infected. He's not getting better. Things are getting worse. This is a group of survivors that range from young adult all the way down into elementary school. So it's very hard to build a cohesive team together with that. There's a lot of friction between the two older girls over the alien traitor guy, what his intentions were and why he was there and what role he had in making them end up where they have in the spot that they're at this moment. So they decide to send Ringer off to search for a cave system. Again, they're in this abandoned hotel, this crumbling hotel. It's winter. Winter's coming on. They're in Ohio, and they know they need to seek better shelter. They find this pamphlet in the hotel lobby, and all that visitor information racks, and it talked about this cave system and how the cave stayed a constant temperature all year round. And so, understanding that this was the only option they had, the only plan they could come up with, that minimized the risks as little as they could mitigate it, they minimized the risks as best they could. They send Ringer out to find these caves. Immediately, Ringer runs into trouble. She ends up shooting one of the younger members of the group who goes after her, looking for her. And she's abducted, or she's taken captive by the alien. At the same time, or roughly the same time, then aliens also invade the hotel that they were staying at. This story for me was good. It was an interesting story. Like the first book, I thought the characters were well developed. I thought the characters interacted well. I thought the storyline flowed fairly well. I appreciated the style in which it was told. I liked the fact that it was told from first-person viewpoints from different people. So we have, Cassandra's viewpoint. Then we have, Ringer's viewpoint. We have Evan's viewpoint. So we get these different people who get to speak to us directly. That's kind of cool to me. So that, the style in which it was written, good. I like the way that this story picked up right where the last one left off. There wasn't a lot of what happened in the meantime. There wasn't a lot of need of backstory to fill in empty spaces. I mean, it just went right on. And so for me, that was a positive. That was definitely a positive. another thing I think that this story did for me was that it answered, well, I don't know, it didn't answer the question, but it validated a question that I had in book one. I didn't really ever verbalize it, and I don't know if I could really even verbalize it. I don't know if I could put it into a word. I could have put it into words. But in book one, here are these aliens, and they're wiping out humanity, piece by piece, bit by bit, they were doing everything they could to get rid of us. I just thought it was, in the back of my mind, I was just like, why? I mean, why did you have to do this? Why is it so important to you? And why are the methods that you're using the way that you had to do it? I'm sure that you had technologies that could do it much easier and cleaner and efficiently. Why? And again, I don't think I ever verbalized in that story. It's just kind of one of those nagging things in the back of my mind. But then in book two, they started literally discussing that, asking that question: why is this going on? What does this really mean? Why would they have to do this? Why do they think that this was the best route to go? What was their thinking? And there was a lot of discussion about that in this book. And so here I am, again, not consciously aware of that question, but I guess I was just kind of wondering why. It kind of validated it for me, and for me that was good. I like that, that okay, I was seeing it right. I was seeing it the right way. That was good. This book, I believe, kind of sets up book three. It's kind of the bridge between 1 and 3. Book 1 had a lot of action in it, a lot of, this is going on here, this is going on here, this is going on here. This story did not have as much of that. It had a lot more dialogue and a lot more discussion, a lot more hashing out of things. Yes, there was some action, that I'm not going to say that it was totally boring like that. There was action in there. But, it wasn't the same. And so I'm assuming it's setting up book 3. Probably I would not have understood book 2 if I hadn't read book 1. I'm assuming that this sets up book 3, and I wouldn't be able to understand book 3 if I hadn't read this. So I'm putting this on my 3rd shelf. I think it's a necessary 3rd shelf book. It is good, and it is worth your time to read. It's an entertaining story, and I think that the series as a whole is going in the right direction. Was it life-changing or anything like that? No. But I think it's a good book. I think you'll enjoy it.